Hey everyone, well, I gotta be honest with you, I can't believe we're actually sitting here right now.
On stage.
On stage together. What a journey this has been, and really miraculous. And in some ways hard to put into words. I think, we've used that word providence over and over again because it just feels like something bigger has brought three guys from three totally different parts of the world together in one spot, for one moment. And that's really where our story begins. Mark and I have been friends for a number of years now. I often call Mark just seeking his wisdom as a music business guy, and wanted to call him and talk about a new show idea. And after about 30 minutes of literally talking about something totally different, the only way I can describe it is I felt like I heard a voice tell me that I needed to ask Mark if he's ever thought about helping build the next male supergroup.
Yeah, and what was crazy about that was unbeknownst to Ben at the time, the months leading up to that question, there had been a couple of attempts to sort of build a group or construct a group. But there was something about that moment. I was just about to go on stage. I was doing a mental health awareness show in Western Canada. Just at the time you hit me with that question, it was almost without hesitation. It was like, yes, because any of the other times that sort of that question had been asked, there was a bit of reservation with me. There was a hesitancy to answer. Yeah. And I would kind of hum and haw and say, okay, get back to you and that sort of thing. But when you asked, I was like, yes. And I think right away I said, I think I know who the other guy
is. You did.
Is.
That me? Nonstop.
No, it was another guy. But he couldn't make it.
No.
Man, I'm so glad.
I remember that though, because you were like,
yeah,
because you said right away, I think I know who I'm supposed to call, a friend of mine from South Africa.
Right, whom we had never actually been in the same room before, but we had sort of this virtual friendship over many years because Andre had been part of an amazing vocal group out of South Africa called reBORN. So there was this relationship there and this respect for each other's work, and we had kind of tried a number of times to be in Europe at the same time to collaborate, and it would always fall apart. So right away I sent him a message. I said, Andre, I know maybe you've been there, done that, got the t-shirt, and you don't care to ever go back, but have you ever considered another form of male vocal group involvement? And I don't think I'd hit send 30 seconds and there was a response back.
Yeah, right away.
There you have the answer, man.
Yeah, it was right there.
Yeah, and what a life-changing call. I mean, when you called me, it was it wasn't a surprise actually. It was you sort of speaking out of my mind. Well, and I think it was the same with Ben. So it is definitely a fantastic supernatural plan behind this whole reborn, rebirth, if I can call it that.
Yeah, for sure.
Music is a powerful thing.
Very powerful.
Here we sit on stage, and that's the reason why we are here.
And an amazing mentor in your life, no stranger to the gospel world, Bill Gaither, made a very good point to you early on in your conversations with him about the prospects, and the potential of the three of us working together. He said, you guys really have to figure out whether or not you can do life together.
Exactly.
And I think that's what we noticed right away. I mean, interestingly enough, your first trip to North America, to the West, was when you came and you ended up on Ben's doorstep. You guys were like fast friends, that.
I've always had a difficult time as a musician connecting with people because of my background. Having started in sports, and really sports being the only priority in my life, even though music was an equal passion. So when you began to talk about Andre's background, pro rugby, and it just, so when we talked for that first time, it was like so many things were connecting.
I was a little surprised and hurt maybe that you weren't quite as quite as enthused with my pro curling, my background.
What is that?
It's where you throw a big heavy stone on a length of ice and, you sweep.
The Canadians are great at that too, right?
Anyways, I've given up my curling.
Did you ever feel that way?
Yes, I think it's a. Some people, when they ask you what you do, I'm a singer. Oh, I thought you play rugby. Or it's the same thing as American football. They see the size and they think this guy can't be a singer. So, so this is a great combination. We have the two bouncers and the guy with a massive voice sitting in the middle.
Yeah,
it's become a real cool combination.
Yeah. We're just Mark's bodyguards. That's
That's all I'm doing, and then we step on stage, and it's a whole different picture.
It's all over.
But do you guys remember the moment that we stepped into that recording studio in Nashville, and we sang together for the first time, and we just started laughing?
There's a lot of giggling.
There was a lot of giggling, right? Because it was so interesting how when our voices locked in, even
it was so natural.
So
like
natural.
it wasn't contrived. It wasn't.
No.
We didn't have to work it up. It was just like we just literally opened our mouths, you know, laying vocals down one at a time, and kind of getting that sense of how each other worked and how each other's voice fit into the bigger picture of a group sound.
I remember when we sang the first time together when I arrived. It's like the tone is so similar that you just start laughing because you think is this real? Even with Mark, I mean, when I listened to your music all the years, I sort of heard some stuff of my own vocal in what you were doing, and when we got together, it was like this perfect recipe, just becoming one voice actually.
And then in 48 hours, I mean, really, we were in studio together for 48 hours.
Yeah.
And we wrote 2 originals, and we covered a wonderful song, Instrument of Peace.
Yeah.
3 songs in 48 hours. That was unreal to me. How quick we even wrote together. That can be a challenge, big challenge at times.
And it was painless.
It was painless.
It was painless. And what was solidified that weekend, I think, even more important than the music, which of course the music is a big part of it, but I think what stands out, I know what stands out to all of us, and we refer to it as the weekend.
Yes.
That weekend, that monumental weekend.
Saturday night.
This was a very unique and definite calling by him to do something special.
Yeah.
And he didn't even totally spell it out to us in terms of what it was in that moment, but we knew there was a deep spiritual connection and a brotherhood that was established.
I think and we've sold out to that being the foundation of this.
Yeah.
And that really is, I think, why we believe that this is going to work, because it was that weekend that all of us together felt reborn.
And I think that also solidifies the basis of reBORN and the intention behind this.
Yeah.
It's not just another group, another singing vocal group.
Yeah.
This is a man band with a totally different mandate.
It's not just about making world-class music, but it's more about mobilizing a movement and trying to be an example of what has happened in us through our music.
That's good.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's...
Yeah, music is the vessel for a message.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That can change people's lives. That's
Change is the big word here.
Yeah.
Revival.
Exactly.
Yeah. And you know what I love about it? Is we don't have to try very hard. It's not a try hard thing.
No,
it's just we're just kind of putting one foot in front of the other, just really trusting in the bigger plan and what God has for us, and not wanting to get ahead of him and not wanting to try to do things our own way, and just really let him make a way for us, and us just be responsive to that calling, because it's powerful.
Yeah.
It's undeniable.
Yeah.
So world, we're coming for you.
Get
Watch
ready.
out.
We've started in
Get
South
ready.
Africa, and we're going to just take it one territory at a time.
Yeah, can't wait.
Be ready.